Okay, good morning, Rabbi. Let's go over here to the typical bonus and see if I can figure out where we're supposed to start. I think I'll skip that one. Okay, so we would be on page Nun. Page Nun at the bottom in the Shefa Kavanos. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Shvu Shvi Tiferes U'Malchus Shnechem Yachad. So he said that they go together, and he gave a reason for it because they're really back to back. You get one, the other, get the other. L'chiyos devukim ach ba'ach yachad. That's the reason why. L'chorach Malchus in his keres kam. So now he says this idea, and he says that it's mentioned over here. One of the Rachel nuk the Zeranpin. It's really talking about Rachel because she's from the cause of Lamata rather. She had the buka ba'ach real Zeranpin ach ba'ach. Amnam b'sidr nira sharishash lombin lokain. Really? The Rishash doesn't hold like that. We just went through. The Rav said that. Ella, what he says here, down the Malchus Khan. So the Malchus he's talking about here. Hamura Khan and the Sakenis b'shvua b'shvi, which is really put together in the seventh week. He Malchus the Orech. Now, what does he mean by the Malchus the Orach? I really, well, he tells the answer, but it's always confused a little bit about how it goes from one stage to the next. In other words, the Nuchva is on his back from the Chaz of Lamata. What he says, a Malchus of Pratis, the Zeranpin. In other words, Zeranpin, which is his Zataras Yisod, is the Malchus of Zeranpin. The Malchus of the Nuchva is different. It's something else. The call Partzufi Chabar Chagtam, the Ovi, he says that it's that of all the Chabar Chagtam, of all different Partzufim and Ovi. V'yuon b'sidr b'shefach b'shash zerperle v'rei shvuo shvi ma sheniz boyer b'zeh. I'm not going there. Didn't prepare for that. So let's go on. Let me see where we would be now. We did the shvuo shvi. V'chavaya de ma keneged teferes, v'chavaya de ben keneged malchus, docher v'nukvo. So let's see what he says over here. This is number Yud Aleph. I'm trying to figure out where is Yud Aleph. This is talking about the same subject. Let's just read Yud Aleph for a second so I can. Shavua Shvihi b'teferes of malchus. So it's the same one. It's both of them. Shnechem Yachad. And he says the reason why is because they're double ach ba'ach yachad. So therefore they all get at the same time. But amnam the fish hem shtei spheros. It's two separate spheros. They say partzufim or whatever. So you can have it's fit to have two different vayas for this. The maka neged teferes. The ben keneged the malchus docher v'nok. So now he says, that's what he says there, and this, we're down below, take a look at this, and it says, V'chavaya de macha keneged teferes, v'chavaya de ben keneged malchus, docher v'nukva. So he says, Seder achalukach ha'mavur kan, so the way they're explaining this here, she'hamochin dedas b'schalkin, she'lezachar nimshachin and the mochin de chasad dedas v'nukavur is dedas. We don't see anything like this anywhere else. Shatamin Seder, that's not the way it goes. He says the Seder is like this. Everything goes in. This is the way that we learn it. Everything goes into Zer Anpin. And then there's Ha'ara that comes from out of Zer Anpin. He calls it Ha'ara now. That comes out of Zer Anpin. Lanuk. Vasha betzida become makom shechasadim nitnin lezer anpin of the vuras lanuk. So we see that's how it gets divided up. Who rak bebechinas chasadim v'chavuras amispashtim and muachadas can go in the zer anpin. Beguf zer anpin. So if this is always the chasadim and they all are going into zer anpin. Let's talk about that itself. We don't see that that's done like that, that there one goes from one side, one goes to the other side. But according to what we said, that we said the Harashash, he said what? It's not what we call Malchus when we normally think of that as a separate parts of. It's not the Kan and Nuk. That's not the Nuk of Zer Anpin. Elach Malchus Apratis the Zer Anpin, but rather instead it's the part of Zer Anpin, because Zer Anpin has a Malchus of his own. Malchus the Orech, he calls this the Malchus of Orech. Shall parts of Chabad Chagtam the Zer Anpin. That's that Malchus. So the Rishash says that this is not a separate parts of, but it's really talking about going into Zer Anpin. So how does that work out? The they're all going to go into Zer Anpin, because what's happening in Zer Anpin is that we're talking about an Orech. So the Sefiras Tiferes and Malchus Shalo, and they both go into those two bottom spots. So there's this explanation that we say that she's on the back, and which is the Malchus, that is the Nuktazah. He said the Malchus Shalo, that she's on the back. He's not saying, he's saying it's not like that. V'yesh Mefarshim Shenek the Isach B'Divra Harav that we're saying of Shabbat Hashvi and Nimshach and the Mochin the Tiferes and Malchus, both of them in 1 week. Hakavana Nimshachim Rak the Sefiras and Tiferes, and what he's saying like this is that everything stands only into Tiferes. Ella She'ez Shnei Tzadei Sefiras and Tiferes. But that, when you look at Tiferes, it says it has two sides, a right side and a left side. Yamin is small. Tiferes and Malchus, and he calls this a little bit hard to hear. So he calls these Tiferes and Malchus. So he says what that let me read it again. All the Shefa is going into only one place. Now, I understand that Tiferes has two sides to it. Let's say it has a Chassid and a Gevura. So he says that's Yamin and small. So he says Mechanech Harav B'Shem Tiferes and Malchus. So he calls the two sides of the right side and the left side of Tiferes by this name. So he said Yamin Tiferes v'tzad small Malchus. So this is a question of the language that we see in other places. So therefore the order in which these flow, is really the normal way that it goes. Soy in the middle line, which is where Das is located. That's where the Mochin Das spread. Hakolo mechasadim and Gevuros has both of them. Mechasadim shehem ma mispashtim b'tzad yamim, but Tiferes on the Gevura shehem ben mispashtim b'tzad small. So that's like what would you say? Updoing a new way of looking at it. Okay, let's see where we're at now. I think that we're supposed to start the Tiv. So how much time do we have left? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 3? 3 minutes. 3 whole minutes. Okay, Kaf Vav. We'll look at Kaf Vav down below. There we are. Shavua Shavir b'Tiferes and Malchus Shenechem Yachad l'Kiyos Debukim. We said that. Let's say I'm in the wrong place. Am I in the wrong place? Oh, B'Ach Yachad v'Chein b'Bechid Shavua Echad B'Vad. Let's skip down to the next one. Amnon the fish shehem shtei sefiros. So since they're two separate sefiros, roy the kaveh b'shnei chavayos, so that we should have really two different chavayos over here. V'chem b'chavayah dema keneged Tiferes, v'chavayah deben keneged Malchus dalcha v'nukva. I guess that's what I was reading before. So he says afshem mekablecha b'Tiferes of Malchus or seichem yacha b'shvua echad. Mikol makom keven shehem shtei sefiros, since they're two separate sefiros, mekuvane b'chem b'shtei kuvanas shonos. And they both have the two aspects of das. So let's say, to them, these two aspects. No. So we've already seen the background on this. I guess I got ahead of myself a little bit. V'lechem shem b'vaya b'milui mashu hu b'b'chinet doncher nimshach b'chasifir zetferes. V'shem b'davaya deberem shu b'b'chinet nukva nimshach b'malchus. And it comes into malchus. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. Let's see if we can get a little bit out of this. We have like, 1 minute or so. He said, well, let's read the top. We got enough time for that. He's boyer tam echod, tam acher. Now he wants to say like this, there's another idea. And it's really correct. Who is this? He says it's also correct. Every moch has 7 bechinos. I'm talking about the Mochin themselves. Each one of them has 7 bechinos. So also with every different midah, I guess he means of Zeranpin, yesh sheva bechinos. Ukenegdam hem sheva shavuos kamoshe she'avoyer. I'm going to get into that. So how it is that we counted out. I'm looking over Chemba called midah umida. I don't know what he means by midah. Midah. I put what I thought he meant was the Chabad Chagtam. Let's see if that's what he means. Yesh sheva bechinos, each one of them has 7 parts. Ukenegdam hem sheva shavuos kamoshe she'avoyer. So we'll get to that tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. That's where we'll go.